Yeah, hello everyone, welcome to Gradeup. So in this class, we shall have the discussion on the disruptive war technologies, of which have been in news of late. And as I was saying, नाम ही थोड़ा नया लग रहा है, disruptive war technologies, जिससे you might be afraid, you might be skeptical of what is this exactly, and science and technology में where does this fit, or what are the applications of disruptive war technologies, or what exactly does it mean? So that is the purpose of today's class, where we shall introduce the disruptive war technologies and we shall see the various applications of the disruptive war technologies. So this is a news because recently our General Mr. Navarane, General MM Navarane, he had told that India should focus on disruptive technologies which have a dual use. Okay. So he had up this term disruptive technologies, but even before that, in defense circles and in our science and technology circles, there is this concept of disruptive technologies, and let us see what exactly is that. So disruptive technologies are basically the set of technologies which you can apply to a relevant problem, and it will radically alter the symmetry of military power. So it is non-conventional. In the sense that it is not your normal conventional arms and weaponry, and it is not even the nuclear weapons, or it is not the general fighting जो artillery है, जो air force है, जो navy है, उसके हिसाब पे नहीं आएगा, but it is completely out of the box, and because of that it will completely change the very symmetry of the war, of the warlike situations, and जो भी policies, the doctrines and organization of the other side है, in a warlike situation, they'll be completely outdated. So how do you get this disruptive technologies? You get them by using artificial intelligence, augmented reality, robotics, big data analytics, your cyber weaponry, then small satellite systems, 5G and 6G telecommunication, quantum computing, cloud computing, and all such rapidly evolving technologies, or which are becoming pervasive and ubiquitous day by day. उन सबको we are using. So basically, the theme of today's class is the role of these groundbreaking technologies in the use of warfare. And when you're using these technologies for warfare, it is called as the disruptive war technologies. Okay, as simple as that. So ये कुछ डरने की बात नहीं है. Obviously, it's new. The term of usage of disruptive war technology is new for us. Sarita Yadav ji, so I try to balance between English and Hindi. जहीं पे भी आपको English term में कहीं दिक्कत आ रहा है, मुझे आप बता सकते हो. I'll let you know in Hindi. Okay? But since हमारा reach ज़्यादा है, this is primarily an English class. Okay? So ये इन सब के बारे में हम देख रहे हैं over the past few years how these technologies have been developing. For example, what is artificial intelligence? Artificial intelligence वो है which can do any work or any system or any process without any human intervention. Okay, that is your artificial technology. So a computer or maybe a system, an artificial intelligence system, will mimic your human brain. So it will have the synapses like the human brain. That's why it is artificial intelligence. If you and me, both of us, we have the natural intelligence, the computer or a system, it will have artificial intelligence. So it can do any task without human intervention. Like कोई robot है, उसको आप artificially intelligent बना दोगे. So आगे जाके it can take your commands and it can do without, you don't have to constantly monitor it. Like if there's a remote control robot, okay, through the remote control I have to give it commands, move forward, move left, move right, okay, pick something, do that. But artificial intelligence, I can just give it command, go and manufacture this door or weld the door of the car, because in automobile sector a lot of robots are used. Okay, and it can use based on the preset commands and based on the preset intelligence which was given to it, it can take up that command without any human intervention. That is my AI, artificial intelligence. And similarly, we have our virtual reality, augmented reality. Virtual reality वही है, आप देख रहे होंगे आजकल, you can wear that on your over your eyes like this. You can wear the virtual reality systems, and you can interact or you can actually be transported to that place. लाइक कोई वर्चुअल रियलिटी मूवी देख रहे हो आप, सो वहां आपको 3D एंड 360 डिग्री मूवमेंट होगा. You can immerse yourself into that experience. Okay, and augmented reality वही है. So imagine अगर I'm staying here, the class is there, so I can put a system like this. I mean यहाँ bottle सच में है, but I can insert a bottle. So through a phone, if I'm watching an augmented reality system, if there is a plane surface here I can put an animated graphic. ये भी आप movies में देखते होंगे. So imagine यहाँ है augmented reality system है, यहाँ Superman नहीं है, but he can be inserted into that system. It is basically a graphics, I would say graphics in a very rudimentary sense of term, but उसी को आप आगे जाके use कर सकते. So your reality is being augmented. So your military training purposes के लिए, weaponry के लिए we can use that. Similarly, big data. Big data, that means बहुत सारे data can be processed quickly and rapidly. Like मतलब नॉन डिफेंस एग्जाम्पल अगर लें तो हमारा एक GSTN नेटवर्क है. Okay, we have a GSTN network which takes in the data of all the GST transactions which is taking place in the country, and basically the CBEC manages it, and it can handle the data. It can take care of the transactions. It can see if the transactions are taking place at the correct point, or it can match. Okay, अगर एक big data system robot है, it can see a particular group of people, and it can match their irises, or it can match their facial recognition, and the data can be processed. So that would be big data. And this is the quantum computer. Like recently Google had prepared a quantum computer. Is somebody aware of the name? Can somebody tell me the name of the quantum computer unveiled recently by Google? Anyone? सरिता यादव जी, समीर अहमद, सोबिया शाद. अभी रिसेंटली गूगल ने एक नया क्वांटम कंप्यूटर को अनवील किया था, एंड इट वाज टोल्ड दैट जो IBM है, IBM का फास्टेस्ट सुपर कंप्यूटर विच इज समिट, जो वो 10,000 साल लगा देगा, that Google could that particular quantum computer could do in a few seconds. Is anybody aware of the name? Okay, it is actually Sycamore. Okay, Sycamore is the quantum computer which was unveiled by Google, and it uses something called as qubits. Okay, जैसे कि हमारे normal computers, normal super computers में we have our bits. Okay, bits 0 1 0 1 ऐसे bits में होते हैं ना. Qubits में there is both 0 and 1. So of course that is another discussion of the what is quantum computer, what is its role, and so on and so forth. But वहाँ हम qubits use कर सकते हैं. मतलब entanglement and superposition principles of quantum computing से 0 and 1 दोनों होंगे एक ही point में. Like quantum mechanics, just for this class, just imagine it is faster than your fastest supercomputer. Like Google ने बोला जो Summit है, which is the fastest supercomputer today by IBM, उसको 10,000 साल लगेंगे एक पर्टिकुलर कैलकुलेशन करने के लिए. I mean एक कॉम्प्लेक्स कैलकुलेशन के लिए, that a quantum computer could do in few seconds. Of course IBM later refuted that. IBM told 10,000 साल तो नहीं लगेंगे, थोड़े दिन, few days लगेंगे. So like that we have qubits. And similarly 5G and 6G technology. 5G 6G we had discussed in a previous class. So 5G क्या है? Basically it can reach speeds of almost 100 gigabit per second. 6G can reach actually 1000 gigabit per second. Right? इसका frequency is 30 to 300 gigahertz जो हमारा 5G का है. So faster speed, faster latency. So if there is a autonomous tank, okay, या driverless tank बना रहा है Indian Army, okay, it has to quickly communicate with the base. क्या हो रहा है? So you need the cutting edge speeds. So there we can use 5G and 6G. And of course the cyber warfare. Okay, which is basically the warfare which takes over the cyber computers, जहाँ hacking होता है, where you can intrude into the enemy computer, or where you can prevent hacking in the defensive cyber warfare. So all of that. So all these technologies which are dual use. What do you mean by dual use? All these technologies मैं कहाँ use करूँगा? Artificial intelligence I'll use for society. I can use for education. I can use for automobile sector. VR, AR I can use for education. Big data and all मैं GST network में use कर रहा हूँ, या quantum computer को कोई computing calculations के लिए use कर पाऊंगा. या हेल्थ सेक्टर में यूज कर पाऊंगा, मोबिलिटी में यूज कर पाऊंगा. सो ऐसे सारे सेक्टर्स में मैं यूज कर पाऊंगा दीज कटिंग एज टेक्नोलॉजीज. इन्हीं टेक्नोलॉजीज को मैं डिफेंस में यूज करूंगा, तो इट इज माई disruptive war technologies. Okay, as simple as that. Since this term has been recently taken up by the general of Indian Army, it is very important, and there can be a simple question asked like, which of the following is disruptive war technologies, or what do you understand by disruptive war technology? Right? Now let us see a few applications of this disruptive war technology. Okay, very good, Sarita Yadav ji. Actually, this topic can be directly asked for the state PCS. Okay, directly एक factual question बना सकते हैं इसके ऊपर. Not only state PCS, even for other competitive examinations या UPSC examination, सब में हम use कर पाएंगे इसको. Okay, आगे बढ़ते. अभी देखेंगे what are the actual applications of my disruptive war technologies. The first, as I told, you can have robotic soldiers, है ना, and artificial intelligence surveillance system. So ऐसे robotic soldiers बना सकते हो for the army, or you can monitor एक बड़ा building है, if there's some important defense establishment which holds the sensitive information, that can be surveillance पे लगा सकते हो उसको for monitoring the terrorist activity and all. Okay, and even directly robotic, for example, this is Daksh. Daksh is a robot which is used actually in the Indian Army. So like that you can use. Yeah, Darpan also we have. Okay, this is a 4-legged robot. इसी को आप artificial intelligence बना के you can use it as disruptive war technology, right? और US का they have their Boston Electronics big dog. So ऐसे बहुत सारे we have the robots in defense sector and which can be used. Okay, so robots, and if you're coupling it with the artificial intelligence, matlab they will take up the actions on their own, okay, without any human intelligence, then they'd be much more dangerous than your modern day infantry. Okay, infantry is basically the artillery, the soldiers who take place in the war. So it'd be much more dangerous than them. And the conventional soldiers, okay, they have much more lethal capabilities. Like this was, this was not in war-like situation. This was a demonstration by Autodesk where they had showed a robot. Okay, it was not artificial intelligence. There's a man sitting here. But see, imagine अगर ऐसा robot है and normal conventional soldier होगा. Imagine कितना बड़ा advantage होगा for the side with this robot. Okay, and as I told you, it can be coupled with the facial recognition technology. Okay, so the robots, if they're scanning a group of 100 people are there, if they're scanning to identify the terrorist, actually I think robo का scene ही याद आ जाएगा आपको. Robo movie में एक scene होता है जहाँ पे he finds out who is the real scientist, अगर किसी ने देखा हो Robo 1. So वैसा एक facial recognition होगा, that robot can see what are the, who are the people there, and it can use big data analytics. मतलब it can match the eyebrows, it can match the eyes, it can match the nose, the mouth, the bridge length, the ankle length, the temple length. ये सब देख के it can facially recognize, and it can find out who's the terrorist or who is tense, okay, who is looking suspicious. All that can be found out by a robocop. And यही robots को हम border पे भी लगा सकते हैं, border surveillance के लिए across our border, and it can aid our BSF, ITBP, our Assam Rifles which are manning the borders. उनको help कर पाएगा our robots. And this technology can be used by the state against the citizens, which can infringe their basic fundamental human rights. Of course, this is a negative aspect. ये भी हम देखेंगे. This is a challenge of using robotics in such situations, like China. China, for example, they have an invasive surveillance technology. They have an invasive surveillance technology where they continuously monitor by using the robotics technology and by using the various unmanned aerial vehicles. They continuously monitor how citizens are moving. Okay, if they're conducting some illegal activities, and usi se there can be some obstruction to the fundamental rights also. Okay, because of this facial recognition and all. And second most important application we have is the unmanned aerial vehicles. Unmanned aerial vehicles or my drones. Okay, so or maybe automated even fighter jets को unmanned बनाना बहुत बड़ा मुश्किल चीज है, but एक normal UAV को भी बना सकते हो. Okay, like we have the Sukhoi 30 MKI, we have the Mirage 3000 or the recent अभी जो Rafale jets आए from Dassault, so उनको ही unmanned बना सकते हो by using the disruptive war technology. Okay, by using artificial intelligence, and this is already proved. Already, if somebody has seen the movie The Zero Dark 30, जिसमें, yeah, forget Zero Dark 30, even how Osama bin Laden was captured, that is a testament for how the drones can be used. How Osama bin Laden उसका capture का story आप सुनोगे, so आपके रोंगटे खड़े हो जाएंगे. It's so interesting the way it was done. There was a drone in the sky over Pakistan, over the Abbottabad area, and that drone was constantly monitoring the area. Okay, and it was in an exo-atmospheric length. It was not visible to the normal people, and it had such precision that even a 50 centimeter, I think 50 centimeter length that it could map out the dimensions. And it had seen at a place in Abbottabad, at a house, a person was walking in the night time. Okay, he was making chakkar laga raha tha. So based on his shadow length, they had found out that his actual height, and they had got some hint that he could be Osama bin Laden. So all this was based on the drones, based on the unmanned aerial vehicles. Okay, so like that, and USA has already been using it in Afghanistan and the Iraq war. Okay, so it can save the lives of soldiers on the front line to a great extent. And in India, we have Lakshya. Okay, Lakshya हमारा सबसे मशहूर UAV है. We also have other things. We have Nishant and other small drones also, but Lakshya was prepared by the DRDO, and it can perform a reconnaissance. मतलब एक battlefield है. In that battlefield, it can find out where the enemy setup are there, or where the enemy camps are there, without being detected. Okay, Uri movie. If you have seen Uri movie, they show how a drone was used to plan our attack. Okay, to avenge the Uri attack, to avenge पहले पठानकोट and Uri attack जो हुआ था, उसके लिए India had performed the surgical strike. So before that, we had used the unmanned aerial vehicles. Similarly, Rustom. Rustom is a long endurance unmanned aerial vehicle. That means it can go 4 to 6 kilometers inside the enemy territory, and it can stay for 24 hours. Okay. Sorry, it can enter 250 kilometers inside the enemy territory, and at a height of 4 to 6 kilometers above the surface, it can be for 24 hours. Rustom. Okay, this is a medium altitude, long endurance unmanned aerial vehicles. So इसी को अगर artificial intelligence लगा दोगे, इसी को अगर आप facial recognition लगा दोगे, so you can map वो कौन सा terrorist है, जैश ए मोहम्मद का terrorist है, या LET का terrorist है, जैसे USA had used for capturing Osama bin Laden, right? So like this, the possibilities are actually endless, right? Okay, Sarita Yadav, if you're NCC and if you're learning for CDS, this is a very important class for you. Okay, please listen carefully. इससे direct questions आ सकते हैं. And similarly, we can have unmanned tanks, which I told. Okay, and automated weaponry. So tank, though it is very strong and it is made up of a very strong armor, we also have anti-tank missiles. Like you have Nag. Okay, Nag, which is our anti-tank missile, it can be launched from a helicopter also. Nag जो है ना, it is part of the IGEMDP, Integrated Guided Missile Development Plan. It is an anti-tank missile. So अगर दुश्मन के आर्मी के पास भी, if they have such an anti-tank missile, so हमारे tank को they can destroy, and in addition to that, the soldier or the person sitting inside also will be killed. So to avoid that, we can build unmanned tanks. Okay, by using this only, by using robotics, high-level AI, precision technologies, we can use it, and we can save the bullets, grenades, missiles, and so on. Okay, so we can reduce the cost of warfare, and जो human lives पे effect पड़ेगा उसको भी हम कम कर पाएंगे. And this is important because recently the DRDO has developed Muntra. This can be used for surveillance, mine detection, reconnaissance. Sub में it can be used. And Muntra is basically mission unmanned tracked. Okay, Muntra is our first unmanned tank developed by DRDO. So this is also an example of your disruptive war technologies, right? ठीक है, and of course cyber war. Cyber war क्या होता है? Where you're using computer viruses and you can hack the computer system of the other country and you can cause immense damage, death and destruction. Okay, like the missiles of that country can be hacked, the missile codes, and they can be sent back to that country itself. So उनके missile से उन्हीं को मार सकते हो. So like that you can cause death and destruction. Or there is a lot of infrastructure linked with the digital system presently off late also. So such unmanned tanks of their system can be hacked. Okay, their aircrafts can be hacked, their radars can be hacked. So all such way you can do the cyber warfare. Okay, and this is done by the spies, hackers and other secret digital weapon projects. And hacking to आपको पता ही होगा, where you can get into the system of the other person or the other nation and you can destroy the files of the system, or you can cause a virus to be formed जिससे आप maybe एक systematic attacks कर पाओगे, ठीक है, through cyber warfare. And of course you can have mapping of the area, which I told, through UAVs, through the unmanned aerial vehicles and through the radiation missiles. You can have the mapping. And to study the large maps of a big area जहाँ पे बहुत सारे घर है and you have to facial recognition करना है हर एक आदमी का, so there might be thousands of people, okay, even lakhs of people in an area. So उन सबको you should do facial recognition, you should monitor their activity to make the living map of that area. So then we need big data. Okay, that big data को we should be able to effectively utilize or map it out. Right, and if you can couple it with artificial intelligence, like imagine LET का ही Jaish-e-Mohammed chief है, ठीक है, I don't want to take any names, but any terrorist activity है, and he has caused terrorist activity in India. Imagine Pulwama attacks only they had created. So to identify the leader, we can send our drone into their area, and the drone can map out the entire area. And through facial recognition, it can सबका face निकाल सकता है. I mean, it can map out all the faces, and immediately through artificial intelligence, it can map with the database, so that you'll know who is that person, and then you can map out and पता चलेगा कि that person is staying there, and then you can carry out the attacks on him. Okay. So like this, it's endless possibilities of using the disruptive technologies in warfare, and इससे will get better precision than your naked human eyes, right? Than normal कोई helicopter से he's saying, better than that we'll get the better precision, you'll get better accuracy. And map analysis you can do by GIS or MIS. Okay, a geographical information system या management information system से you can map out कहाँ पे hills है, कहाँ पे plain area है ना, कहाँ पे plateau है, या कहाँ पे ज़्यादा suspicious activity हो रहा है, right? So if you do have time, I would actually suggest you to please watch Uri movie, which came out I think last year or 2 years back. जिसमें we had shown how the Indian Army had carried out the surgical strikes. उसमें all of this are shown, how the drones are used, how facial recognition is done, how the artificial intelligence is done. Of course, if you're preparing for this year mains, then I would advise against it because time is precious presently for you. But normally, if you have some time, I would definitely recommend that movie for you. Okay, and you can monitor the border areas as I told. Any changes if they're having, I mean, if they're changing the border, if the soldier movements are coming. Okay, we had seen recently the China ke border transgressions, how they had crossed the LAC, and how they had come near the Pangong Lake. So all that can be effectively analyzed by the disruptive technologies. Okay. So इतने सारे advantages है, तो like most things in life, we do have some disadvantages also attached with disruptive war technologies. And इसमें है most important disadvantages is it lacks human values. Okay, सबसे पहले obviously the disruptive technology, it lacks human values. So if somebody, if a person from the other side, if he inadvertently crosses the border, or if he's illiterate, he can't see कि this is India's border, and if he's crossed it by mistake, then जो हमारा robot है, the artificial intelligent robot को जिस वहाँ आप खड़ा किए हो, that will directly shoot that person. Okay, even if that person is raising both his hands and is saying help, yeah, if there are women and children, if it is programmed, that robotic gun is programmed like that, it will shoot that person. Okay, so that human values of empathy and compassion नहीं होंगे उसको. Okay, so वो हो सकता है. Then there'll be a reduction of jobs, obviously, because defense sector in India as such only it is less. For example, India, we import almost 34% of the we import almost 15% of the global exports of armaments. जो 15% है all over the world, defense equipment जो होता है वो इंडिया में ही आता है, 15% of the defense equipment. So such a huge, we are already importing. So हमारा indigenously we are not able to make in India. Of course, now we have the new defense acquisition procedure, जिसमें we are focusing on improving the how to augment our defense acquisition procedure capabilities, or how to make in India, how to make indigenous products of our defense sector. And uske liye we need the manpower. Okay, we need the manpower, and that to skilled manpower to produce these UAVs, to produce normal fighter jets, to produce the conventional guns, okay, artillery, navy, submarine, in सब के लिए we need a lot of manpower. So अगर एक UAV आ रहा है, मतलब अगर एक artificial intelligence system ही it will do this, okay, it can be manufacturing the weapons, okay, it can be manufacturing the secure systems, or like we had seen big data analysis say it is mapping out the data analytics, that a team of human personnel could do that before. So the team of people who were mapping out the data analysis, now a simple computer is doing. So the jobs would be obviously reduced. So they can snatch away the jobs from manufacturing sector, service sector, like IT, like the information technology, BPO, KPO, and सबका jobs जा सकते हैं. And in application in defense अगर कर रहे हो, we need a lot of skilled jobs in defense. So वैसे ही हमारा unemployment situation is very poor. Like before the COVID-19 itself, the unemployment in India was 6.1%, which was very high. And after COVID, it was estimated almost 24 to 40% तक estimates आए थे, unemployment in people. So in this situation, जहाँ skilled jobs only would be taken up by the defense sector, imagine unskilled jobs का क्या हालत होगा. So there'll be a severe unemployment crisis. I mean, वो हो सकता है if it's not properly augmented. And it cannot perform multiple tasks. Like a human being, if there's a human being, he can identify the enemy vehicle. He can decide which weapon I'll deploy against it. He can predict the path. He can see अगर वहाँ कोई person है, या वही वो border में देखा था वहाँ कोई women and children है. So वहाँ multitasking can be done. But this artificial intelligence system को multitask करवाने के लिए you need very complicated artificial intelligence systems. Okay, जो अभी we have not been developed. So ऐसे challenges are also there of the disruptive war technologies. But at the end, ultimately, to have a proper analysis, you should be able to conclude that the war technologies or the disruptive war technologies are definitely useful. And all the countries, or especially China, Pakistan, they're making huge strides in this area. And India cannot afford to fall back, right? Because we already live in this volatile environment of two aggressive neighbors. So we should definitely have the R&D in this, but it should only be to augment the human skill. It shouldn't degrade the human skill, or it shouldn't replace the human skill. It should ultimately augment your human skill. है ना? It shouldn't degrade it into being non-empathetic, or it shouldn't replace it. It should only augment it. So there should be use of soft robotics. There should be use of ethical AI systems. और AI system भी अगर हो रहा है, उसको उतना भी autonomy नहीं देना है that it will be completely independent. It should always be under the human surveillance. Okay, that system also. So through that, you can have a middle path and you can have the best of both worlds. So like that, you should conclude एक mains का answer. But since this was a factual class, we have not taken up that analysis, but you should end in this way. that जहाँ पे भी हमें this disruptive technology से, this cutting edge technology से, state of the art system से, they should only be able to augment my human skill rather than replace it. Fine. So here's a sample question for you. Just try to attempt it from the discussion we just had. Which of the following are disruptive war technologies? A direct question. Try to give it a go. Anyone? Direct question. Try to answer it. Okay, देखते हैं question. Amongst which of the following list could you consider it as disruptive war technology? Okay. So cloud computing. Fine, we had seen that any form of computing, right? Your supercomputers, cloud computers, yeah, your quantum computers, which can fasten the data augmentation, okay, which can fasten your data analysis. जो facial recognition से या जो data है हमें about different human beings और different surveillance objects पे, उसको जल्दी जल्दी से आपको data को intervene करके you should analyze that. So that can be done cloud computing. Conventional weapons तो नहीं होंगे, है ना? Conventional weapons is your normal warfare. And nuclear weapons also, I wouldn't put it into disruptive. Because ये पहले से था. This is not my cutting edge technology. Nuclear weapons तो कब था? World War II के ज़माने से हो रहा था nuclear weaponry. And artificial intelligence तो है ही. So the answer is A, 1 and 4. Okay? So for people who've answered, the answer is A, 1 and 4. So ऐसे basic questions आ सकते हैं हमें. Okay? And of course, this is just a sample class from our Gradeup classes. And by taking the Gradeup Super subscription, I'm sure you're aware, you get access, unlimited access to 11 plus structured live courses at one go. Instead of enrolling into one course at one time, economics ka course, या geography का course, या history का course, या science का course, instead of all of that, एक ही super subscription अगर आप लोगे, तो you will get access to all the 11 courses. And you get 60 plus mock tests along with it, and they would be useful for all the UPSC Civil Services and EPFO exams. So like Ms. Sarita Yadav ji जैसे आप बोल रहे थे, the CDS and CAPF exams जिसके लिए आप prepare कर रहे हो, you can prepare for it along with UPSC by taking up the Gradeup Super subscription. क्योंकि सारे exams के एक ही बार आपको subscription मिल जाएंगे. Okay, जो भी UPSC related exams है. And we have these courses which are offered, the IAS 2021 course, a complete NCERT module जहां हम पूरा NCERTs को discuss करेंगे, and they'll be in both English and Hindi. So some people who are asking for the Hindi medium, you know, आपको, I mean, for you also there is the specific Hindi medium classes also. And for UPSC EPFO 2021 we have classes economics, geography, environment, polity, history, general science. ये सारे courses आपको, you'll get them in one go, right? Fine. And also we have the free series on the Gradeup app, not only here on YouTube. You can go to the Gradeup app, press for UPSC exams, and वहाँ prepare tab जाओगे आप नीचे, वहाँ prepare tab में you can see the videos which are uploaded every day. So every day at 12 o'clock, just like a clock, we have a daily editorial analysis. At 5 o'clock, we have EPFO के लिए important topics. At 8 o'clock, we have prelims के लिए important topics. And 9 o'clock every day, we have the UPSC Manthan, which is the daily current affairs classes. Right? And apart from that, on YouTube also, we are having the free classes like this class, which is there every day at 1 p.m. For Civil Services 2021 के लिए है ये class. And for the UPSC EPFO exam also in 2021 में जो exam होने वाला है, उसके लिए 3 o'clock you have another class. Right? So thank you so much people for being a part of this class. And if you like the class, please, we have a feedback option in the description. So please fill in the feedback and let us know how this session was, what you liked about the session, and how we can better the session. Okay, if you need more topics or more coverage in the session, or any more suggestions you would like to add to the session, you can directly give me the feedback. So please fill in the feedback, and let's meet again for another free session. Okay, fine. Thank you so much everyone. And Sarita Yadav and Sobia Shad, आपने A दिया answer, that's a correct answer, right? PDF, see this is a free session, so free sessions में PDFs नहीं दे आ जाते, but you could watch the session again and you can make notes. आपके own handwriting में you can make notes, which you'll have better retrieval also from that. Okay, so thank you so much. Let's meet again for another class, and take it, prepare well, score better, and grow grade up. Fine. Thank you. Bye. All the best with your preparation.